But before I get on, this is Women Radio 91.7 FM, the voice of women, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. And my name is Fumi Bangbala. Today on the big question, we have someone to discuss, money matters, kind of how to get our money up. If you've noticed, we've been doing this quite a few times. How to get our money up, what are we doing with our money? And we always got you over here at Women Radio 91.7. We are live on YouTube at WFM917.com. You can listen to us on the go at via our website www.wfm917.com. But today we're going to be speaking with Vanessa Ogundipe. She's a liaison officer at Women Radio in Abuja. She's also the host of the Wealth Circle, a financial literacy community dedicated to teaching young women how to understand, how to manage, how to grow their finances. She's very passionate about education, empowerment, and creating safe spaces for honest money conversations. Vanessa, is very, 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 very lovely to meet you. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, and I'm very fine. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction.
You are very, very welcome. You're very welcome. How are you? What are your plans? I ask this question all the time. What are your plans for Valentine's Day?
Well, it's to spend it with my community. Yes, with the one I love, with the people I love. Yeah, so just that's.
Yeah, I don't understand your political answer.
It's the day of love, so celebrating love. With people you love, with the people you love, God, so many things can be done on that day.
You are a politician. I put it to you that you're a politician because what? What do you mean? I would thought you were going to say, I'm going to be with my boo or something like that. You say, yeah, I say with my community. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave it. I'll not stress you again. But thank you so much for coming today. I was going to preempt myself to say I should. I understand that you have a show tomorrow called the Wealth Circle. Yes. So I want to is this your first one?
Yes, it is the first physical meeting. Whether we always have webinars, online webinars, every month. We started in May, so probably this is like the fifth meeting.
Okay, I want to say congratulations on your first physical meeting. I know it's not easy. I plan events too, and I know it's not easy to, plan an event, then hope to God that the people that you're inviting, they actually show up. Yeah, it's a lot of work. So congratulations on that first.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Okay, let's get into it. We're talking about building a strong financial circle, which is really what the Wealth Circle is about, right? But before we get into the Wealth Circle, what does building a strong financial sisterhood mean? And what is that about?
Okay, so I'm very honored to be here today. I want to say thank you, Women Radio, for having me. It's the voice of women, so thank you so much for listening to my voice. So money has been a conversation that is, there's a lot of, I don't want to call it shame, but it's just like everybody's under pressure. Everybody wants to look like they're having it. Everybody wants to just seem like they're getting it right. But there's so many questions around money. So many questions. And I would like to say that thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. You are the host of the World Circle. But I'm not here as somebody who has everything figured out. I'm also learning. This past few months where I started the World Circle, I've learned so much. I've made tremendous steps in my finances. I'm very proud of that. That was one of the goals that I had, entering into the year 2025. And, information is power, knowledge is power. And if you don't have that, you're going to, continually live in ignorance and be a victim for the rest of your life. So chase knowledge, chase information. And I think that was what, birthed the idea of the Wealth Circle. So it's like a women community, and it is just exactly what building financial sisterhood means. It is, a community where we talk about money, So how did the World Circle start? So how did my journey into finances start? I remember that I just had a lot of questions, concerning investments, concerning savings, concerning stocks, shares, they sound alike, but they're not the same thing. So I was like, what exactly is it? I've seen people buying shares in MTN. I want to be that, And the goal is that everybody wants to be wealthy. Everybody wants to, have, build a wealthy legacy. Wise man would say you might come from a poor family, but don't let a poor family come out of you. So everybody's striving, to make it, right? But we do not understand money. Some people do not understand money. So financial literacy is a big deal. And this is why, the World Circle was brought. So I asked the question on my status one day. I was like, if you had a community where you could talk freely about money, you had the opportunity to learn about money, would you be interested? And a lot of young people, young women said yes. So I believe that, building financial sisterhood, really means women coming together to learn about money in a safe way. We're not trying to steal your money. We're not trying to collect your money. We're trying to understand money. And what you do not understand will forever leave you. Like, it would not stay. You will continually just have money, but you will not be able to manage the money. And the faithful steward is one who manages money, and more will be committed to that person. So yes, so building a financial system means to me that women come together, not just women, men, women alike, coming together where you feel safe, a place where you say, oh, I don't understand saving, I've never invested before, and nobody laughs at you. Everybody's like, oh yes, even me too, So something I found out is that you can never learn enough about money. You continually be learning, right? So having people who have, so communities like this, and that's what financial sisterhood is. So we have people who work in financial sector in the community. They are up there, right? They understand money. And we have people like me who don't understand money. That community brings us together, that sisterhood, and somebody is there to guide you. So I remember when I was trying to buy sterling back shares, and I honestly did not understand, and this is me being very honest, I didn't understand CHN number. I said, what's it with that? CSCS number. I said, what's that?
I don't even know what that is either.
So yeah, you can imagine, I didn't understand that until I had to go on the group. My group, I'm the host, but then there are people in that community and that sisterhood that understand CHN number. So there's somebody, a senior friend of mine, she's in the community, works with CBN. She broke it down for me that, CHN is like your address, in the stock markets or the shares markets. Forgive me if I'm mixing them up. So if they want to find the shares you have, they will just type your CSCS number. Do you understand? So I'm like, okay. So that's what financial sisterhood means,
Okay.
Bring together people with different knowledge. Yeah.
I would like to know, because you talked about something when you asked questions and people, would you like to know this is about money, and people answered. But I find that a lot of people are actually more hesitant when it comes to money. Especially women, they struggle to talk openly about money. There's this silence around money when it comes to women. Maybe because they haven't started earning money, or they're not earning as much in comparison to maybe what their peers are earning. But why would you say there's so much? Why are women shy around money?
I would say that it's the society. We have been taught for a long time that, and this is just an unpopular opinion. This is my opinion. I feel like I grew up in homes where, women, and this is also one of the needs, one of the reasons why I started the World Circle. So, we don't talk about money. We feel like, money is men's talk. If I talk about my money, I will be viewed in a way, it's my self-worth. I don't want to be cheated. So there's so many narratives and mindsets behind money, and I think that's what communities that are coming up, any wealth community or wealth education, financial education community that is coming up, or financial education is coming up, should be able to clear the mindset behind money. So you might say, okay, for example, the mindset that says tomorrow is not sure, spend the money today. That's a mindset, right?
Yes.
And people only live once. This mindset. Mm-hmm. You only live once. That's a mindset. So people have a lot of mindset, and that informs, their reaction. So the way you think, informs your actions and reactions. So I think the reason why women are silent about money is because maybe they're shy, they've heard a lot of stories. Oh, don't tell men how much you have, if not they'll cheat you, or if you don't have this amount of money, you're not worth it. It's like too many mindsets are behind the reason why people are silent. And I also don't think that women are the only ones silent about money. I think everybody is just ashamed. I think because it's linked to your self-worth. So somehow you try to preserve that aspect of your life, and in that sense preserve, whatever conversation. So you're not going to relate in any conversation about money because you don't want it to come back on you and your self-esteem and your self-worth. So I think that's why people are hesitant to talk about money. And I also think confusion is also another reason why people are hesitant about talking, because they don't understand. Well, when people tell me, oh, they invested in this and they got this, but I don't understand it. Why would I be talking about it? I will just keep quiet. But that's like very wrong, Shem. Yeah. So
I actually do agree with you about what you said about the society and what you said about people not wanting to say. For instance, if you ask a Nigerian how much they earn, they will never tell you, as opposed to your counterparts abroad, right? You say, oh, how much you earn? Oh, I get 30 grand a year. I think they do theirs that's like, they say 30 grand or 60 grand a year, or per hour. They still tell you it's not a thing, right? And everybody's trying to get their money up. But over here, like you rightly said, it's like, if I tell you I'm earning 200k per year, is one of two things. It's either you think that I'm really rich, depending on where you're coming from, and now you can obtain me, or you're like, that's more money they get. And then on the part of the person who's earning that money is we have an inflated sense of self in this part of the world where you just like, you want to be viewed as up there. I saw a tweet the other day where somebody said, we Godwin people, and I thought it was such a good line, because that, I see how your eyes, that's how I looked. I was like, and what that really means is I'm seeing Vanessa today and I'm like, when would I too start investing like her? But then he was even saying it from a negative standpoint, where you see people who are doing unscrupulous things to make money. So rather than speak against what they're doing, you Godwin them in terms of, if me too I see person way fits, if me too I see sugar daddy way fits, that kind of thing. And it's such a warped sense, warped mentality that we have here. But I want to speak to like the wealth circle that you have. How does the wealth, or how does the wealth circle, how do you bridge and close gaps in confidence, in income, in different things? Because they say that women were not supporters of ourselves. I feel half and half about it, because I believe that, like you said, we've been groomed, the society has groomed us to see each other as competition, as opposed to contemporaries. Like we see collaborators, or collaborators. We've been groomed, to get that man, to get that money, to get that job. But what are the steps that the wealth circle is taking in being able to bridge that gap, to say, oh no, we're not competing over here, we're all trying to get our money up, and also building confidence, building knowledge, and things like that?
Okay. Yes. So the World Circle was born out of a need to have a community, first things first. And the goal of that community is to be a safe space. So I was very intentional about people like I was adding to the community. There was a form you'd fill to tell me, what do you want to learn? I would see the direction at which you're going, and I'll be like, okay, good. You are in line with the goal and the vision of this community. Okay. But how do we build confidence around money? So it's a very new, it's a very, very, very new group, new community, and the way we're trying to build confidence in the way you speak about money, the way you spend money, your curiosity surrounding money was to, be informed, right? So stay informed. And this was us bringing a lot of guests, from different aspects of life concerning finances, people who worked as, wealth managers, people who worked in the stock market, just come to tell us about that. There's no fear around money. This is how you can scale your income and scale your finances. And I forgot to mention that the World Circle is for young ladies and young women. So these people are still, earning within a certain salary range. How did we now, say, I haven't had cause to think about, we're competing, because the idea of the World Circle is collaboration. So I remember talking to one of my friends, and she was like, she paid $300 for this thing. And I said, sis, how did you get the job? Show me the way, right? It was not like, you're earning more than me. I'm like, girl, we gotta get the bag, right? So why are we competing? Like, if it's good for you, it's good for me. But this is not the thought of many people in Nigeria. If you tell them, if you open your mouth and say, I'm earning $3,000 per month, people are like, black tax, people are coming, But then this community is to just encourage that, okay, you can talk about money if you're confident enough that you understand money. So the reason why people don't talk about money sometimes is because of they don't understand how to save. They don't, as simple as saving is, they don't know the fundamental reason why we should save. People don't understand what emergency fund is. People don't understand what sinking fund is. And as simple as that is, people don't understand it. And when we're talking about it, they're like, they're shifting back. So the basic goal for the World Circle this few months has been to educate. I remember putting out a poll of the group. I'm like, if you had the opportunity to learn anything about money, what would you learn? And if you see the list of what people were saying, I want to learn how to build my business. So business is very linked to finance. So how your streams of income, how do you maintain that? So it's just, education now to build confidence. And then as we go, it's just going to get better. So that's it.
I really love it. I do. There was something that you said, how, you said about money. I'm trying to remember. Let me ask my second question. I'm hoping that I can remember. I think you were saying something along the lines of people being uncomfortable about money, people not being able to say things with money. And that's something I remember when I would go for interviews and they asked me, what is your salary expectation? And I would be kaloloing, I would be stammering. No, see, just don't try me. That's it. Because, and I had to get to that point by myself. You can't allow life just be passing you by, because there are people, they're your contemporaries, there are people that are your age and even younger than you that are earning crazy money, and they're not afraid to call amount. There was a time that if you called 1 million naira next to me, I'll start shaking like, 1 million. If you call 1 million naira, I'm asking you, what do you want me to use this 1 million naira to do? Because this is just, I will spend it today, and I'm not buying food or anything. I know things I'm going to get, that I will do. And invest. I'll put in my savings first because I'm big on savings. There are things that I will do straight up, right? Treasury bills, I would have done it like this, like before I now start thinking, X, Y, Z, A, B, C. So you have to be comfortable with calling money. Maybe in your house, you should just be saying 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. I don't know however way is going to get you to be really comfortable with it. But tell us about the potluck event you're having tomorrow.
Yes, so before I go into that, I also wanted to address the fact that growing up, money in many households has been treated like a private matter.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you relate with that.
Oh, yes, I believe.
They'll be like everything is just very, it's linked around shame and just, it's like, So I think that's also seeping into, the society of today or the generation of today. Everybody just wants everything hush hush. They fear judgment. They fear, comparison, as you said, black tax or just self-worth. So I think another reason why is because we grew up in homes where they're not open. As you compare us to our contemporaries abroad, people are very open. Even the job you're applying for. It's only in Nigeria I'll see that where you now go for the interview, they will not start talking about money. Some jobs, they will tell you the range of earnings, right? They'll tell you, within $65,000 to $70,000 a year. But in Nigeria, you will see me asking, how much do you want to pay me? I'm like, why are you hiding it? And then you now hear 150K, you say, on top of this job description. Why? You understand? So I think there's a lot of just hush in the whole conversation about money. And then yes, the potluck tomorrow. So as I said before, we once started in May 2025. and we have been having online webinars, and people have been showing up. We've had 50 people, 40 people, come on the show. Thank you. And that was very impressive. We've had people write to us, thanking us about how much, the classes and the sessions have been. So that's an impressive progress for about 6 months now. So the potluck is to just have a physical feel of the meeting, taking it from online to a physical experience. Yes, that's what I was looking for. So the potluck is, as I said, potluck, just come eat. But then within the potluck, we're going to have financial planning for the year 2026. So something I also realized is, and because it's a young community, so it's a community for young women, they have a misconception that, oh, I don't have 1 million, so I can't start saving. I don't have 500K, so I can't start saving.
Yeah.
I don't have 200K, so I can't start saving. That's a misconception that the World Circle is trying to break in young people. I remember going to school and the girl was saying, oh, her parents would never allow her to save. And I'm like, well, we could work towards that. What do you think about, Ajo? Ajo is a very old term. But you can come to school and do, spend 15 naira, and at the end of the term, they take you home, right? So there's a misconception that you have to have it big before you can, do anything. So the potluck is to come sit and talk about, your finances for the year 2026. If you don't have a direction, you're going to just aim aimlessly, or you're going to shadow box. So if you say you want to invest in land, we're going to have, notepads, papers and pen, and you're going to write that down, that I want to buy land at the end of the year. And as you're writing that down, we as the World Circle is going to be bound to follow you up on that goal. So that is why we're having a potluck, so we can have a physical experience, number one, and number two, to plan your finances for the year 2026.
Okay. And how many people are you expecting for tomorrow?
Around 15 to 20 people.
Okay, is it paid or is it free?
Oh, it's very free. It's very much free. But then the venue is not disclosed. It's only disclosed to registered participants and community members.
Where can people come register?
You can just send me a message on WhatsApp on my number.
You can see the number. Can people just find you on Instagram?
Oh yes, you can find me on Instagram at the Wealth Circle. You can send us a DM there. The Wealth Circle, just the Wealth Circle. I can see us.
Okay.
Yes. So,
all right. And what is the expectation for the attendees tomorrow when they come? What's the expectation for what do you want them to feel or believe by the time they're leaving?
First of all, I want them to feel like a breakdown in the term finances. So another thing again is the sisterhood we're talking about on this call or on this radio show, financial sisterhood. Find a community that you can talk about money and they will follow you up on it. So challenges and goals, as you're going back home, you know that, you're not going to sleep, you're going to really work on this plan, right? So they're going home with clarity basically, and a push and a move, or a push and an inspiration to build more, do not be lazy, work more so that you can end the life that you want to live.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for coming on the show today. But I want to ask one last question. What is one small step that someone listening to us now can take today to build financial freedom, financial sisterhood, financial sisterhood as well? Yes.
I would like to say 2 steps. Sorry. Okay, so the first step is go after knowledge. You can never ever gain what you want to gain if you don't know anything about it. So ask those questions, go after knowledge, follow people who know the road. And then secondly, nothing is too small to invest, nothing is too small to save. You can actually save to invest. If you don't have the amount you want to invest, you can start saving from today, maybe 500K. You start saving 5k, and you get to that point and you invest that money. So yes, so there's nothing too small to do right now. From where you are, you can take that step. 5,000 naira mutual funds, in carry wise, piggy vest, or as many as you want, or you choose whichever you want to do, you can do that. So those are the two steps: knowledge and take that step.
And take that step. And like Vanessa has rightly said, it can be 5K. I think the first time I started saving, my salary was 60K, 40K, like years ago. And my husband now, we're dating then. Were we dating or we were married? I can't remember. Had said start saving 10K. And I thought my life was going to flash. I really thought it's the end. What do you mean save 10,000 naira from this money? How much am I going to use for food, for transport, and all of that? So I started, and then I didn't die. I think the first 3 months or 4 months, and then he goes, I think my salary was 60K, and he goes, oh yeah, increase this because I moved from 40 to 60K. He said, so increase it to 20K. I said, pardon? I'm barely surviving with this. And then so I did. So I moved it to 20K. And to be honest, it was such a good thing because I think it was around the time we were about to get married. I had money to be able to say, me too, I'm the one that dropped money for wedding. And that made me feel so good. If there's anything I would like people to even take is that confidence and that feel goodness. I don't know if that's a word, that you feel that I'm the one that pay for it. Of course, it's nice when people do nice things for you, yes, but there's also that feeling when somebody does when you do it yourself. Oh, I'm the one that
pay for yourself. Yes.
Yeah, I pay for it. It's different if you cannot afford it, but that you did it. And there's sometimes I pay for stuff and I don't have money after, but I feel good, right, that I paid for that thing. So yes, I would say start however way. If you're earning 50K salary, I promise you think that you can't survive, you can. Because at the end of the day, if you calculate how much your salary is and how much you're spending per month, you realize that your expenses is God that is helping everybody. Like you just realize that you're spending more than you're earning, and it's not that you're borrowing. It's just that for some reason that money is being multiplied in some ways or So do 5K. And then start stretching your financial muscles to 10K. Right now, I save more than half of my salary per month. Some people might say, oh, I have a husband, but it's not that, because I don't like to ask him for money. But I'm able to do that now because I've been able to start stretching money. Finally, before we go, there was something that you said about conversations in homes. I want to add to that please, it's important that let your children be comfortable with money. Let them hold the money, right? Let them touch it. Let them pay the malam in your estate or on the streets. That also helps.
Go ahead. Don't make it look like a scarce commodity. Don't make it look like there's so many mental conditionings around money. And I'm like, okay, don't make it look like a scarce commodity. Don't make it look like it's hard to get. Sometimes it is, but then just have conversations surrounding money that makes your child very, very confident. As I said, I went to that school and I was just hearing things about money, and I'm like, your father said, don't save anything, I'll provide everything for you. No. And then that girl will grow up very dependent. Yeah. Very, very dependent. So just have conversation. And something, I want to say something quickly. Vision clarifies what you do with your money. And if you don't have any vision, it's over the lack of vision, the people perish, right? I'm just rephrasing it. If you don't have a vision, that goal will perish. That idea will perish. And most times we have ideas, brilliant ideas as Nigerians, and we don't know how to go about it. And I know sometimes we're underpaid, but then you could save, to start that business. Like I was telling my cousin sister that you are aiming for the sky. Well, first of all, you start like here, right? So now, for example, you want to get to start earning 1 million. How would you get there? You have to invest in yourself. So the 50K you have, invest in yourself. Grow. After that, just as Miss Tony has said, you just keep expanding that muscle, expanding and expanding and expanding till you now get to that 1 million. Do you understand? So the step by step, like you don't fly there. You just have to be. So if you want to start earning 1 million, start a business that gives you a revenue of 10,000. You start like that till you get to 1 million. So yes.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with you. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for coming on the show today. We truly, truly,
Thank you so
truly
much for
appreciate it.
having
And
me.
all the best at your event tomorrow. We hope to see your name in lights. We hope to see, and we hope that we're able to do even more stuff together, Women Radio and yourself with regards the sisterhood, the wealth circle. I say financial circle, the wealth circle. And we wish you the very, very best.
Oh, join.
Oh, join. All right, enjoy the
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
All right. This is still Women Radio 91.7. We still have amazing shows for you on the program. Do not go anywhere. Remember that by 4 o'clock, we have our first Valentine's Day special on Women Radio 91.7 with the follower. Do not go anywhere. Also, enjoy the rest of the day. Bye for now.